everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Eroica, a game I am absolutely loving, of course. And we've got a developer notes. I have not read these yet, and let's just take a read and hope they're good. Some things I would like to address. One is the stamina. There's obviously a stamina issue in this game, but it's kind of built around it, but kind of not at the same time. But because there's a stamina issue, there is then a massive gold issue. Once you hit a certain point, it is brutal. Like, one of the worst I've ever seen in a game, how limited you are with your gold. And of course, this also applies to upgrade materials like runes and skill bucks. Not as much skill bucks, but runes specifically. As somebody who doesn't spend money, I'm free to play in this game outside of what they've gave me through pellets for summons. There's a little bit of a problem there, right? Like, it needs to be fixed, and I'm sure they're working on it. It's a new game, and I can tell they're not new devs, if that makes sense, but they're accepting and open and everything, which is great to me. I really enjoy that. So let's take a look. So this is PD Gray. Hi, PD Gray from the dev team. Today's dev notes is quite similar from the last one. Mostly it will be replies about the feedbacks, complaints of our game. These answers might not be satisfiable for all, but we will continuously try to communicate with our users. That's one thing to note. They're very responsive. They talk a lot. Really happy with their communication. That's one thing they've done fantastically right. By the way, we're just ending the first little part of the summer event, and I loved it. The story was great. Everything was great except for one little thing we'll talk about. So we are currently preparing a roadmap of our future plans, which perhaps might be posted in a different way. We promise the roadmap will be shared with you as soon as possible. So hero balance. So there's a couple things about hero balance. I'm actually really happy with the balance. It's fantastic from what I've seen anyway. 1 stars are usable and good. 2 stars are usable and good. 3 stars are usable and good. Everybody's accessible for the most part. Everybody's obtainable. I can see the first line is about Kipukiri here, which is actually pretty frustrating because that's the one character, not frustrating, but good, because it's one character I was kind of frustrated with. I fully invested in Kipu, and then they changed it so that on a miss, she doesn't steal all the buffs with her skill 3. So that makes sense. So it didn't make sense it worked that way to begin with, if that makes sense. So they're saying right here there were no intentional changes to Kipu's skill 3, but the steal buff was not intended to apply when the attack was missed. Changes to steal buff was applied as a fix. So this is fully understandable, right? Like, I'm on their side on this one. It sucks our Kipu got kind of nerfed a little bit, but it was obviously unintentional. You're not supposed to steal buffs like that if you miss, right? Like, imagine if like a character was just randomly missing in Epic 7, but they also stole all their buffs or did all their debuffs without it saying so, right? Like, obviously there'd be something wrong. So we saw some questions about a nerf regarding Wraith, though there were only buffs applied to Wraith during the update. Please share with us what part of the changes to Wraith felt like a nerf. I didn't notice this whatsoever, actually. I can't speak on this one. And there were dissatisfactions with the functions. Yes, this one I did have a problem with. They changed Detective Porn so that it only worked in certain areas. This is the one that makes it so he auto picks things up. Basically, if it was not a like a specific type of stage, he wouldn't auto pick up, which was the whole reason to pick him up to begin with. We sympathize with the need for price reductions for porn and the need for appropriate measures such as a refund for existing purchasers. These decisions regarding porn will be announced when they are made, but we will prepare them as soon as possible to apply them in the next build. Yeah, this is a good answer. I'm okay with that. So challenge. We are currently in the process of renewing the Nia dungeon. We are aware of the current requests from users regarding the difficulties. Yeah, Nia Dungeon is the one place in the game that is brutally hard. Not even hard, it's just like you need so many units, which does make sense. It's a longer term thing, but as the start of the game just released, it's really difficult for players. You need like multiple teams and multiple damage dealers. I'm not even done the second stage, for example. I could probably do it if I really min-max my units and swap gear around and everything, but yeah, that's pretty cool. We will hope users will play and evaluate the improved Nia Dungeon. Nice, this is good so far. There's a lack of content that can be continued for a long time in a game. The daily missions feel like homework, difficult to obtain gold, and because of the limitation of stamina. Yeah, exactly. Basically this. At the beginning of the launch, the use of stamina was changed to a limited number of entries and content, such as the ruins and royal trainings. I actually like that in a way. I like that it's limiting, but I think it's too limiting right now. This decision was made because it was considered more appropriate for free-to-play players since it guaranteed everyone to play. However, we do sympathize with the inconvenience this caused when trying to farm for additional runes and skill books. Try to figure out a way to solve this inconvenience in the future plan. This is a good answer. Again, this is a really tough thing to do because you either have like infinite stamina or no stamina in games. So there's no middle ground. Like, let's be real. You have like Azur Lane where you can't get rid of your oil. If like somebody put a gun to your head and they were like, you have 36 hours, not even like 10 minutes. You have 36 hours to spend your oil. You're just like, shoot me, you know? Like, you're not spending your oil, at least when I played. Epic 7, they're like, you have 7 seconds to spend all your leaves, and they're already gone before you started talking. So there's no middle ground. So the carriage is really, I'm enjoying it, but it's also too much. So I would like them to tone down how often we have to do this, and let's just see what they say. So the carriage management required so much time was not part of our plan. We also agreed with the user feedback, so we're reviewing the overall balance and adjusting it so that users can acquire enough train coins by visiting twice a day. Twice a day is an acceptable compromise. Purpose of this adjustment is to ensure that sufficient compensation can be attained through fewer visits via the carriage management than before. We're planning to change the renewal cycle of the cafeteria from 3 to 6 hours. That's good. Additionally, the required amount of products will be adjusted downward, and the required amount of train coins will be adjusted upward. Okay, interesting. I'm sure they're going to be helping this a lot. They also, it's really confusing, so I hope they kind of clear that up. The translation, this is one of the places that it's hit the most, and it's not fully understandable sometimes. So, comment, perhaps in the upcoming version, we'll see improved Nyad engine. It's not divided into several stages as it is now, but it's a system that connects to a single floor. We expect that it will feel like an all-out war. Furthermore, we agree that Nyad Dungeon's rewards are small compared to the time spent, so we'll be trying to improve and change the rewards. So that's cool. Farming, we've currently working on making the sweep tickets more accessible to users by creating more access points to acquire the sweep tickets. You'll be able to see them in the shops and also as rewards. So, yeah, this is pretty solid. I never really needed sweep tickets outside of every now and then when I was lazy, but I can understand people are busy and can't just keep their phone on like I do. So sweep tickets are always a good idea. So there was a suggestion of a buff ticket that can be used when the user wants to apply to a buff. Sounds like a great idea. This will be taken into positive consideration. Cool. This is what I mean, like little stuff like this. I really like their communication. So upon defeating Chapter 5, Dimensional Rift, and Guild quests will have changes added. This will provide users with a higher level of gold and XP. Nice. This is really necessary. Unfortunately, they have, this is one of my least favorite parts of the game, is they have one of those passes where you limit the amount of uses a day you can get into certain things, and then the pass for however much dollars a month gives you an extra entry. Really dislike that marketing strategy, and I really would like that to go as a side note, but I don't think it's going anywhere. And for some who might not know, there are paid and free pellets. Yep, paid pellets can be used to pick up present summons by consuming only 10 pellets once per day. Separate explanation. Oh, they're just saying people keep asking about it. Makes sense. Working on the chat function. I actually didn't even know there was really a chat function. I don't really pay attention to this. I would pay attention if there was a guild, but right now there is not. There's a lot to this, by the way. This is pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with this. So, gear. Currently, a temporary storage system is being developed to help alleviate the inconvenience of insufficient inventory space when summoning equipment and pre-cores. When summoned pre-cores or equipment that exceed the maximum allowed inventory will be kept in temporary storage. Plan to separate equipment from pre-cores in the inventory is also being considered. That's the big thing. Definitely need to just separate the two. So, PvP. It has been discussed how to fix network issues in PvP. Fortunately, I've never came into those, so we'll see what they say. But it has been delayed due to unexpected implementation difficulties. We are currently working on adjusting the timing of deductive action in PvP so that users can enter hero formation after loading. Once we solve the aforementioned issue above, we will apply the fix immediately. So the matching system in PvP will remain the same as in the soft launch version. The opponent list uptime time will be reduced by a substantial amount. That's fantastic, by the way. The opponent list will be unified as 5 players. That's fantastic as well. However, we are trying different tiers by adjusting the number of hidden rivals. That's cool too. Also, the achievement rate of gold 1 to 2 seem low, so we'll readjust and downgrade the scores for that section. Cool. Good changes. So, currently all events posted on Facebook are also shared on Discord. Our platform does not manage Reddit, so that it has its limitations. so we can't post events on Reddit. Future plans include an exclusive account for Discord and Reddit, and opening Instagram and Twitter platforms as well. Cool again. Can you add McNardian as a hero in the future? This will be considered with a positive attitude. However, please keep in mind that we are also working on other hero updates along the way so that we won't have any specific dates shared. Sharing patch of bug fix details with content creators beforehand for video creation has been discussed. This actually wasn't me asking, but that's cool. Specific detail about an update will continue to be shared close to the time of that update. The rough and important patch content will be shared 1 week prior. We understand there has been a need for faster information disclosure for the content update roadmap, and we apologize for not being able to provide them in the past. We're trying our best, and we appreciate your support. For those who are curious how we are handling with users tampering with the app, the users who are suspected of tampering are not given points, blah, 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 and further information. Cool. I think they should just get rid of them. In the original implementation, when entering the lobby for the first time, the character voice is played, but due to a bug, it did not function correctly. We are fixing the voice line. Yeah, let's go. This is a lot, guys. Developing a custom lobby function that allows users to place illustrations in the lobby. If you place an illustration in the lobby, you'll be able to view the entire illustration by... Nice, let's go. This is really cool. I'm really, really, really happy with this. This is fantastic. That's awesome. This is great. I'm really happy with the direction of the game. Let me know what you think. I'm really happy. I can't say much more. This is pretty sick. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.